This is Whitney from iTap Boys, and you're listening to Glove Up or Shut Up.
And we're back on Glove Up or Shut Up right now. CDJ and my co-host Peter H. And we have a special guest on the line for an interview who just knocked out Eduardo Dantes in a fight in Brazil. So please welcome to the show, Tyson Nam. How are you doing tonight, Tyson?
I'm doing good, guys. Doing real good.
Thank you. I'm glad you could join us on the show tonight. I'm glad to hear you're doing good, but you couldn't possibly be doing better after a big win like that.
Man, I couldn't. It was just something that you really can't describe the feeling. It's just something only once in a lifetime type of feeling that you can feel that.
Absolutely. And I know everybody wants to hear all about it, but I'm going to make a little bit of a tease here and say we'll get the full story in just a minute, because I want to give you the opportunity first and foremost to give everybody some background on yourself, because you're new on the scene and a lot of people are just getting to know you. So let's find out how you got your start in MMA.
It was just a different form of exercising. Lifting weights got a little bit boring, and I had some friends that was into grappling and boxing. So once they introduced me to that, it was something that I really enjoyed. So I kept with it, and a little bit of peer pressure. I got into amateur boxing, kickboxing, and it just kept on escalating and climbing from there.
All right, so you never had any like high school or collegiate wrestling then? You just got into MMA just because it was all your friends?
Pretty much. I mean, I did a little bit of judo when I was little, but that's as far as it went.
Very cool. So it seems like you've obviously taken to the sport quite quickly. You've got a 12-4 record, and you, like I said before, you got that big win you just had. But how did you know when you first had your first fight whether or not, you did it because you had your friends in it and you liked it and it was good training, but how did you know it was going to become a career for you?
I definitely did not know it was going to become a career. For a good long time, it was pretty much just a hobby, just train here and there, and if there were local fights around, I would compete, but definitely did not think that it would become a career.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, you didn't know you would be having fights with champions down the line. No way you can predict that when you're first getting started out. But you have had quite a few fights so far. You fought in Icon and King of the Cage, and all over the place. So, what would you say was your favorite fight up to this point?
It's got to be back in Hawaii. Icon Sport. That's where I started off from, and that's where all of my family is back at home, so just a lot of love goes back out to Hawaii, and I know that they were watching it, streaming it online all the way over to in Brazil, watching the fight this past weekend.
Now, when a lot of people think of MMA and they think of Hawaii, they immediately think of BJ Penn. So the obvious question has to be, do you know him, and have you trained with him?
I have not trained with him, but I have met him. Very nice guy. One of the soon-to-be UFC Hall of Famer. But yeah, just a really awesome guy. Whenever anybody talks about UFC, mixed martial arts in Hawaii, you are definitely right on the money when everybody thinks BJ Penn.
Yeah, he kind of predominates the scene. I think the only other guy people immediately associate with Hawaii is Kendall Grove, but now they'll be associating you with Hawaii as well, so that's got to be a good feeling.
All good.
Tyson, have you always fought at bantamweight? And also, what is your walk-around weight? Do you do a big weight cut to make the weight class?
No, I usually try to stay at about 150 to walk around, just because, I consider myself a professional, so, I really want to make as easy a weight cut as possible, so I'm always in shape, I'm always training, just, you never want to make that big weight cut with the chance that you may get tired in the later rounds if need be.
Now, is bantamweight the class you're going to stay here for a long time, or is there any interest in moving up or down in weight class?
Right now I feel really comfortable at bantamweight. I know my metabolism is slowing down a little bit, but for the most part, I can make 135 still fairly well. So right now, I feel real safe at home at 135.
All right. I know Stevie's going to ask you about what happened in Brazil this past weekend, but Before this fight, was there any interest from the people at Bellator or maybe Strikeforce or UFC or any of the big promotions about your services?
It was kind of thrown around here and there, but it wasn't anything that was set in stone. So when the chance that they said I get to fight the Bellator bantamweight champion up in Brazil, I said, hell yeah, so where do I sign?
See, that's the fighters that we all love. Where do I sign? When do you want me there?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, and on that note, let's go ahead and talk about that, Don Tyson. What was it like getting the call to get that fight? I mean, what kind of training did you have for it? How long of a camp? What was the process like getting to fight him?
Well, first off, my agent, Iridium Sports, they got back to my coach, and my coach texted me up, hey, you want to fight the Bellator bantamweight champion in Brazil? I literally had to read the text about 10, 15 times. I was like, are you texting the right person? Because, it just almost came straight out of right field. But, as soon as I confirmed it, I was like, hell yeah. So, we had a good camp. We had good 6 weeks to train for this, so it was well prepared. It was pretty much 2-3 a day workouts. It was just grueling. So, I knew that if I could survive this training camp, I should be able to go down in Brazil and perform at my peak. So we had a really good training camp.
Now, Dantes is known as a submission specialist, and in fact, he won in Bellator with an arm triangle. So was that something you were worried about? Was his jiu-jitsu game?
Oh, yeah. I felt like his striking, a lot of his fights that I was watching, he was knocking out guys, he was submitting guys. Like, damn, where the hell am I gonna get to one up on top of this guy? He definitely doesn't have any holes in his game. But just made sure that I came in shape. I felt like I had confidence that if we were standing, I would have the better of that, and caught him with that right hand that put him out.
Yeah, it was pretty spectacular fashion, too. I've watched that video over and over again, and it seems like he thought he had you cornered and he was charging you, and you hit that counter right hook, and he just dropped. It was literally one and done with that punch. It's as great as that feeling is, even you had to be a little bit shocked, like, wow, did I just knock out the champ?
And that definitely, those words that you just said was literally the words I was thinking in my head the entire time. Like, when I punched him and he went down, I thought I heard my coach from the corner saying, he's out, and I was thinking in my mind, no, he's not. So I went down to try to punch him because I didn't believe like it would end that quickly and that suddenly.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a spectacular knockout. And then immediately you hopped out of the ring, and it looked like, I don't know, you can describe what your feelings were at that moment, but we've seen Forrest Griffin hop out of the cage and run, and that's kind of what it reminded me of.
I swear when I knocked him out, I swear the crowd went just dead silent. And, if I stayed in the ring any longer, I probably would have been yelling at the top of my lungs. So I decided to run into the locker room to yell and celebrate.
Yeah, you probably didn't want to rub it in their faces because Brazilians love their Brazilian hometown fighters, so they might not have taken a shine to you celebrating.
No, I might have had a few more fights that night if that happened.
That's understandable. But now I'm wondering if Bellator has gotten back to you since the fight, if they offered you like a bantamweight tournament spot. They just concluded the tournament with Galvao winning the title shot, but now a lot of people are saying you should get a shot too.
There's a lot of options right now that my agents are working with different organizations. I'm not too sure exactly. They're working it out right now, and they're getting ready to lay it out on the table for me to make my choice. But as of right now, I do not know in stone.
Well, as long as you keep those options open, there's going to be a lot of people.
The Brazilian crowd. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Stevie.
No, go ahead, Peter. You can jump in.
Was the Brazilian crowd chanting anything on your way to the ring in Brazil?
I was so focused and just in the zone where it was almost just silence while I was walking out. I seen the lights flashing, but I try to usually tune myself out from everything that's going on around me right from the moment that I'm walking down the ramp into the ring or the cage.
Okay. I have a question that I always ask all the fighters who come on this show. What music do you come to the cage or to the ring to? Is there a particular song that you're very fond of making your entrance?
No, I mean the song that they picked. I know they picked the Tupac Changes. That was their choice. I usually don't really care what I walk out to, because like I said, like I'm usually just really focused to where I can't even hear the song that's playing while I'm walking out.
Now, one question I always ask outside the box: do you follow sports at all, like baseball, football, hockey, anything like that?
Not too much as for a few years now, just because MMA has just taken over my entire life, and that's what I usually like to watch and focus on. So I mean, I used to watch a lot of like basketball. I was a big basketball fan. Used to watch a little football here and there. I mean, I practically played almost all sports ever since I was the age of 6: baseball, soccer, basketball, judo, football. So I mean, it's definitely not a stranger to me. But as of right now, I just been watching a lot of mixed martial arts, like watching people getting punched in the face.
Now, how do you relax after a fight? Is there like a place you go, like a restaurant, or a certain food you eat after a fight? How do you kick back and relax after all that pent up testosterone, all that anger, in the ring or the cage?
Well, definitely seeing family and friends really puts me in a soothing place, whether it be eating Chinese food or just hanging out, just a good company.
On that note, I wanted to ask you, what's your diet like when you're getting ready for a fight? What do you usually eat to get yourself in your best physical shape?
Man, if you guys really want to know, I'm probably got the worst diet. Big Macs taste great to me, ice cream, but I mean, but usually Subway might be the pick of choice when I'm getting ready. I feel like I'm getting a lot of vegetables and meat when I go to Subway, because honestly, I really dislike the taste of vegetables. So still trying to acquire the taste for it, because I know it is healthy for me.
Absolutely. And hey, if you're burning those calories in the gym with grueling workouts, then it really doesn't matter what you put in, because you're taking it right back out once you do all that sweat.
No, it really didn't. I mean, like honestly, like this was probably the hardest I've ever trained for a fight, so I could barely even eat enough to maintain weight, let alone, be putting it on.
Understandable. So you've already beaten a champion, and that's a dream come true. But are there any other dream fights out there for you guys that you just absolutely want to face at some point in your career?
Everybody's goal is always the UFC. I mean, biggest stage, millions of people watching. I mean, that would definitely be another dream of mine, where everybody would be watching pay-per-view, down in Las Vegas. That would just be awesome to me.
Yeah, and they're really opening up the lighter weight divisions of late and putting more focus on it. So now is certainly the time. If you can get into there and get a fight in UFC, you've got, the sky's the limit right now.
Yeah, it definitely would be our time right now to get up in there.
Yeah. In fact, in just a few weeks, they're doing the finals of the flyweight tournament, right, Peter? I believe that's coming up at UFC in Toronto.
Yeah, with Benavidez and Mighty Mouse.
Yep. So
yeah,
that's
I'm definitely going to watch that one. It's going to be a real good showing.
Now, if you had to choose between the interim champion, Renan Barão, or the champion, Dominic Cruz, which of those two guys in UFC would you rather fight?
I don't know. They're both kind of scary. I think I would rather go for with Dominic Cruz, though, because I mean his belt does carry more weight.
Yeah, quite literally it does.
Probably, yeah.
But
I mean both great fighters, and I mean I love watching both of them fight. They're both awesome. So I mean, just to even think that I would get a fight with either or would be a great honor.
Absolutely. And hey, they're both quick and very powerful with their punches, which is a lot like what we saw with you with Eduardo Dantes. So I'm sure that would be a fast-paced fight no matter which one of those guys you got a chance at.
Oh yeah, it would just be fireworks all night.
Absolutely. Hey, I think Peter's got another question, so I'll turn it over to him.
Well, Stevie is in Nebraska there in the States, and I'm up here in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. So question that we have up here, there's a big fight coming in November. Who are you picking between GSP and Carlos Condit?
And I love watching GSP. Carlos Condit, he is so exciting to watch, but, I mean, my bet's got to go with GSP. He always comes in so well prepared and, you know, just always have a game plan right down to the T. I mean, it almost seems like every time he fights, there's just absolutely nothing that his opponents could actually do to him to phase him.
And the reason I bring this up is because the odds makers have announced the opening odds for that fight, and surprisingly, for a guy who's been not active for almost 2 years, GSP is the favorite at minus 350, which is a lot bigger opening odd than I would have given him.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it doesn't matter if, you know, GSP is out for 2, 3, 5 years. I mean, when he gets ready, I mean, he's been doing it for ever since he probably could walk, you know, athletic-wise. He knows how to fight. He just needs to make sure that his body is just well-maintained, and he'll go out there and do his thing like he always does.
Hey, now speaking of fight odds, Peter, I got a quick question. Did you hear any odds on your fight before you had it with Eduardo Dantes? And do you ever pay any attention to that stuff, or is it just like water off your back, it's a fight, and you don't worry about it?
Yeah, I didn't worry about it. I mean, do you guys know what the odds were?
No, that's why I was asking, because I have no idea, but I imagine you were an underdog in that fight.
Oh, yeah, like, I mean, you know, when I'm thinking about it, man, I'm probably wondering if it was almost like Buster Douglas beating Mike Tyson. I wonder if the odds were like that.
Yeah, and we've seen what happens when the odds get too long. I mean, when Matt Serra was like 1,000-1 against GSP, that was when he knocked him out. So, you know, sometimes those long odds actually make things better for the guy fighting.
Oh, it does. It does. Definitely want to always bet on top of the underdog.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if I should put like 50 on Vitor Belfort, because who knows, if he lands one hand on John Jones, that might be in the end of Jones' night.
Man, that wouldn't be a bad bet. I mean, I might back you on that.
All right. Well, Peter, I'm sorry I interrupted, so go ahead if you have any more questions.
You led to my last question, Stevie. Who do you have in that fight, John Jones or Vitor Belfort?
Oof, I would say John Jones. He's just been terrorizing everybody that they put in front of him. You know, I think he's going to be a champion for a long, long time. I don't see really anybody beating him anytime soon.
Yeah, he looks pretty dominant right now, but of course, a lot of people are mad at him over what happened with UFC 151. Do you have any opinion on that? Should he have taken the fight with Chael Sonnen?
You know, honestly, when you're getting ready for a fight and you're getting ready for a specific style, I mean, you can't hate the guy for saying, you know, I've been training for this type of fight, and for someone to just totally switch a style on you and you back out, I mean, I can't blame the guy at all. I mean, I would have second guesses if I was getting ready for a wrestler and all of a sudden they gave me a striker. I would just feel really uncomfortable. My timing wouldn't be right. Everything would just be off.
Yeah, and I've been trying to take that position too, and it's not a very, very popular position to take right now, but ultimately it's the fighter's choice whether to accept or turn down a fight, and we have to respect John Jones made that choice because he didn't think that was going to be a good fight on short notice, but a lot of people want to vilify him for that.
Yeah, very true. I mean, Chael is definitely a tough cookie. I mean, I've been in the same room as that guy before, and he definitely is no joke. If you're not training specifically for him, you just might have a really bad night.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. He made Anderson Silva look bad for 4.5 rounds, and there's very few people on God's earth that can say they've done that.
Yeah.
All right, well, Tyson, we've been very blessed to have you on our show today, and we appreciate the time, but I want to give you the chance, if you want to thank some sponsors, throw out some plugs, give out your Twitter handle, all that stuff. I want to give you the chance to take this moment and plug whatever you'd like to plug.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to thank my teammates up at Sports Lab in Portland, Oregon. If any of you fighters out there, you guys come down and train with us, we'd love to have you guys. My agents, Iridium Sports, are doing just a fabulous job for me. Sponsors, Virus, Conca, C2O, Training Mass, nutrition for you. And, you know, everybody back in Brazil, they're really nice to us, took care of us. Everybody back in Portland and Hawaii, love you guys for giving me all the support that I do need, and especially my girlfriend Melanie that always puts up with my BS when I'm getting ready for a fight. I could be a crab.
It's always good to have that support at home. And the Twitter handle is Tyson Nam, right? TYSONNAM. All right.
That's it. Come and follow me.
Absolutely. You're going to have a lot of followers in the weeks to come. I'm sure of it. It's going to be blowing up overnight. So,
that'd be great.
Tyson, thank you so much, and you have a great day, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again really soon.
Yeah, you guys have a great day, too. Thank you very much.
You bet.
Thanks, Tyson.
All right. Bye-bye.
You're listening to Glove Up or Shut Up on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.